Do it smell like fish?
You what?
Battle, then I'll take it to the street where there's no rules. Take off the gloves, break dreams to death. Gotta prove my skills, so get down. My lyrical depths are broken.
Today we follow the story of Hwang Gwangho, a first-year medical intern who finally gets to live his dream through first-hand experience. The only issue is that this story takes place during the outbreak of Corona. We all know how torturous that was. And we were just the ones chilling in our beds. So imagine what it was like being in charge of testing and caring for those who are paranoid, stressed, and suffering from the virus. That's where Gwangho comes in, because due to the increased cases of coronavirus and growing number of screening clinics in the countryside with a serious lack of manpower, he has been recommended by a former professor at his university for the job. Now, just like any other country, who would want to leave a busy, exciting city for the boring and quiet countryside? Me. That's who. Anyways, Gwangho gets shoved out to a clinic in an area known as the Mermaid Village. And trust me, it lives up to the name. But Gwangho won't be alone, as he brought his own mermaid with him. Subin decided— Damn! My fault. Gwangho's close friend and colleague Subin has willingly volunteered herself to go with him on the job. We all know why she did, but Gwangho playing the slow card, as he usually does throughout the series, drops her off at her studio apartment, to which he ponders if it would have been better than staying at the boarding house he'll be living in. Believe me, it's a lot better than the studio apartment. Now, before the man even gets settled in, he gets a little preview of the resident privileges he'll be experiencing as the owners of the home get busy when he arrives. Now, never mind the preview, he getting a front row seat as he literally stumbles right into the room by accident while the birds and the bees look on from the bed. Now, let me tell you, this landlady, dog. How much for a stay? You only got one room? Bet we can share. And I know Gwangho on the same timing, because his eyes ain't looking for his room. They're looking for his home. Now, even though the scenery inside is nice, the landlady advises him to take a walk outside along the shore to truly take in the beauty that is Mermaid Village. And it is truly stunning. The crystal blue waves, the luxurious sand, and that fat ass in a bodysuit. My fault, I must have been reading this wrong. The crystal blue waves and the huge bazongas and— happen again. I know I ain't bugging, because this might actually be a mermaid. A stacked woman emerges from the ocean in front of Gwangho as he looks out in awe. Now, another thing Mermaid Village is known for are its female divers, who use round gourds to get shellfish and other aquatic delicacies. And these female divers are typically of an elderly age. You know, that ain't stopping me. You know what I'm saying? Look at that baddie! But it turns out the mermaid before him is a young, beautiful woman who trains under the elders. She fits that suit so well. I'm sorry. Just had to get one off. Nah, I ain't stopping, because things get steamier as she starts unzipping and stripping to let herself photosynthesize. Gwangho just like me, because I am and just like that, things take a little turn as she starts freaking out because he was staring at her. How did you not even realize bro was there? I read that loud ass dialogue, but thankfully the misunderstanding is settled between the two, as the instance might have been a solid icebreaker. The girl gets up close and personal as she's immediately grown interest, probably because there's hardly any men in the village itself. But their conversation is cut short as the elder divers come to pick her up. Now, clumsily forgetting her score at capture, she lifts up the heavy gourd that packs as much meat as that ass! My fault. Which in turn throws her over the edge and into the sea. Why isn't anyone helping? Gwangho knows the deal and immediately jumps in to save her. Having gone so deep and possibly knocked out from hitting the water, she's gone limp. I know I ain't though. As he brings her back to shore. Without a second thought, Gwangho knows what time it is. Time to give some CPR. I can't even lie, man. That girl's lips look luscious as hell. I can't. As she wakes up, she's informed that Gwangho has saved her life and gives her thanks along with the elders. From that moment on, she has gained the newfound respect for him and looks forward to meeting him again in the near future. And I'm sure it's the same for him. And that's how we start off with Intern Haenyeo. If you want to give a read yourself, it's best to stop now, as I'll be getting into a little spoiler territory, as we all know what that means. Yes, it's time for positives and negatives. Let's start with the negatives. Get that shit out the way. Now, don't get me wrong. I do enjoy Gwangho as a main character. He treats them all with respect sometimes. Has a respectable profession that he doesn't use as any abuse of power, and is actually entertaining in his own right. However, this is typically an issue that I have with harem manhwas. It's the same with series such as Circles and Bunk Beds, as that he's letting it swing too much. It's one thing to know if your character sleeps around like Hyeyeon from Silent War, but he at least makes sure that everyone is on the same page. Gwangho, quite literally, can't help himself when anyone makes an advance onto him. I can't remember the last time bro has said no. So in turn, he sleeps with every main female in the series. And it's not just a hit or quit either. It's almost like he's building relationships with these women, but he doesn't even think that they could be getting the wrong idea. So even though they are all special to him, they are constantly believing that they are the only ones he's doing this with. Until recently, where things get pretty messy. Not messy enough to stop it, but at least to cause some tension. Another thing that I got, it'll be quick because that's not too much. The hypocrisy that I find specifically in recent chapters is a bit triggering. The landlady who has repeatedly been getting piped by Gwangho while her husband is off at work finds him paying for a call girl in the moment he gets free time. Is that bad? Yes. Should she be mad? Yes. Is she in the wrong too? Absolutely. We saw the job this man works. I can only assume he'd be paying some bills up in there, you know what I'm saying? So all the scenes we've seen her and Gwangho kind of made me feel like, should y'all really be mad though? I feel like in that moment they should have just acknowledged their lack of love for each other and parted ways. All right, it's time for the positives. We already know. We've said this about nearly every series. The art. It has this kind of realistic feel to it, but not too much in order to remind me that these are drawings, so I can get the pages as sticky as I want. But the bodies just be so that even the grannies looking pale. Like, what the fuck? Whatever they be putting in this water over in the village, please keep doing it. And never mind just being sexy. I think the artist is truly talented and making everyone have their own cute side to them as well. The sheer beauty they emanate is truly striking. Not to mention the chibi art, which is a manhwa staple, keeping me in a chokehold, cause why'd they be looking so adorable? You don't even need to talk about those scenes. You already know they top 5. Another positive that I have is the story is actually really well thought out, because using COVID as a circumstance for a series, absolute genius. It was an easy way to get Gwangho in the area due to the lack of staff to test the residents, and it was also a really convenient way to bring all the characters together. Going off that, I love the perspective they give on the countryside. Obviously, I don't live in South Korea, but most of what I see is from Seoul or Busan, you know? It's cool to see what the outskirts and farmland view of the country is like. Despite being a homebody, it looks perfect to me. Small, homey, and just gives such appreciation for nature. You know, as I'm going back to read and come up with what to say for this video, I'm realizing that this manhwa really is just getting down and dirty. And that ain't a bad thing at all. Let me explain. First and foremost, these girls don't play. With so little testosterone in the town, they gotta get off somehow, so like they releasing a bull into a farm with cows and heat. They just don't stop, and it's truly amazing. And now everybody. We finally got here. The rankings. And so at the bottom, I unfortunately have Subin. Now don't get me wrong, Subin is one of the baddest to grace the screen. She thick, lively, smart, and not to mention she got a whole BDSM fetish. That art went crazy, not gonna lie. However, with all the positives that go into Subin, she has one negative that just completely throws her out of contention. Her extreme jealousy. I can understand if y'all were already together that you be doing all that you do, but it took bro like 50 chapters to understand what you trying to do. And even then, you still not being upfront. And the things that you be doing to my sweet girl Hyeyeon, now you gotta go. Next up, I got Gia. Gia is one that we all don't know. She's been Subin and Gwangho's co-worker since they've been assigned to Mermaid Village and has been treated more as comic relief. It don't stop us from thinking something could happen though. One day, our dreams come true as Gia meddles in Gwangho's business in order to get a taste, and taste she did, as she didn't beat around the bush. Gotta say, Gia definitely has the best style out of all of them, and I've only seen one fit. She ate them up! Now with the bronze medal, I'm gonna give this to Hyunjung's older sister, Sonjung. If you've already played Persona, you can understand why I'm so infatuated. A teacher? How can we get any looter? The stockings! Not to mention, it's the oldest woman we get to see in her bag. Let me enjoy the MILFs! I ain't gonna lie, she'd definitely be the most aggressive with it too. The way she just be talking crazy to Gwangho, practically laying it out for him to understand. And when that don't work, she just sit on it. She even recreated a dream for every young man. Getting nasty in the classroom with your teacher? Kawakami, you gotta step up your game! It's no use with a silver medal. We give it to Hyeyeon. Yes, I know, cause to be honest, I do think that she is best girl, but I have my reasons. She was the first girl to really grab our attention and make us think that she's the one. If you ain't think that she was the main girl within the first 2 chapters, I can't trust you. Not to mention, she is without a doubt the most interesting, as she has actual character development. Not just the fact that she goes from innocent to nasty, but the pure sense of curiosity and confidence we see grow in her is admirable in and of itself. The most intimate scenes, the most heartwarming moments, she truly deserves the world. And I'm just telling you, bro. That bodysuit, bro. I just want to see. I just want to feel what it. And now with the gold. I understand if you think Hyeyeon is #1, but as I must insist every single down and dirty, this is my list. And what I want is a fully grown woman. They're gonna give me rights. We got Hyeyeon. First time we seen old girl, she was getting piped by a bum. All I know is I was ready to see someone grace this queen and bestow upon her a life of ecstasy. And if it ain't me, it might as well be Gwangho. She really be wildin' with her damn hormones though. And it ain't like she pounces right on him like her sister does. But she be calculating about it all. Pouring wine in a tight ass dress, feeding him meals with her breast on his back. She knows how to tease and I love it. She tests the waters with such finesse and goes in for the kill once the bait is touched. Not to mention this girl can cook a mean ass meal. And she be preparing all the right things for a healthy young man to digest. I'll take some meal with a side of rhino pills, you know? She may be a bit older, but she be eating these youngins up. And with that, y'all, that is Intern Haenyeo. You already know the deal. In these comments, let me know your rankings. What other series you want to see on this channel? Drop those names down below and I will get to it. And with all that being said, I'll see y'all in the next video. Love y'all. Take it easy, man.